Hello, dear seekers. This is Carrie. Welcome back to the Healing Corner. I know it's been a while, but I have been very intentional about coming to this space when I feel ready. As you know, guys, if you don't live in the US, not only we've all collectively have been dealing with a pandemic, but here, specifically in the United States, we have been dealing with a lot of grief, a lot of anger when it comes to Black bodies. So today I would like to talk about purposeful anger. I was angry all this week. And I had to sit with my anger so that I can show up. Not because I am afraid of my anger, not because I feel ashamed of my anger, because I wanted to be very intentional. And anger with no purpose, without any purpose, has no bounds. It goes and decimates everything. So, my dear seekers, think about the emotion we've been feeling and we've been going through. When you think about these names, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, but this is only in 2020, right? Think about all these years that every day on the news, when you turn on, you will see a Black man, a Black woman, someone who has been shot, who has been killed. People are not aware that seeing these images all the time either create post-traumatic stress for us, or we just become numb, apathy, very fatigued of seeing violence after violence. I want you to remember your anger is a secondary emotion. Before you felt angry, there was definitely a first emotion or primary emotion. What is that for you? What is that for all of us in the collective? When you see Black people all over the news, fighting, screaming, and people call them angry, they present as angry. But deep inside, they are still grieving, they are sad, they are frustrated, they are very disappointed that we have a system that continues to oppress in one way or another way. I woke up this morning and I wanted to continue my ritual, to meditate, to have a prayer, but my anger was still sitting there. My anger has been sitting there for a while. It didn't matter if I did all the breath work, it was just there. It was very pervasive. So as I told you, I took my time and I actually went to a rally for Black Lives Matter. That actually helped me to unpack my anger. And this is what I had with me. This was my sign. I wanted people to see the word STOP, acronym STOP. And I don't think you can see the O, but the STOP, S stands for systemic violence, T stands for terrifying outcome, O stands for oppressive treatment, and last one, P, stands for painful loss. That's the sign I had all along. It was very nice to see all these Black people, African American, Black American, Asian American, Latinos, Middle Eastern, White American, all of us working together. In this path, we need allies. So it was very invigorating for me to see all the white folks walking with us and understanding at this time, if you want to help your neighbors, if you want to help your Black brother and sisters, I want you to listen with love. And I'm going to say again, listen with love. L stands for listen. U stands for understand. V stands for validate. LUV. This is the time that people don't have this time to explain why they feel angry. They are exhausted, they're tired, and now they're just acting. But I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, if you did not take a hold of your anger, other people will take the narrative and change it for us. We don't deserve that. We need to take our power back. We need to take our narrative back. Remember why you are fighting. I know on the outside, it feels like we are burning buildings, we're burning businesses, we're burning houses, whatever that is. But in reality, what you want to burn down is the oppressive system. I'm not going to tell you not to be angry. Guess what? I see you, I hear you. I know why you're angry. I know why I'm angry. But what I'm saying is, how long are you going to be angry for? We can burn the whole city down. But what is the purpose of our anger? Let's turn our anger to a purpose. Let's turn to our anger to something that can be long-term. Resistance. Resistance comes from anger turned to something that now can create life. And something interesting, a lot of people don't know that in this process of a lot of Black bodies, people have forgotten the story of Black women who have died in the hand of police brutality. I am going to give you homework. When you go home, I want you to Google the HuffPost, 15 Black women who were killed in their encounters with the police. You will be mind blown. You're going to be in the state of shock because these are stories that we don't hear. You know, in my practice, since I practice not just therapy, but I am very culturally competent. I see this all the time with the different communities that I serve. When I have Black clients, they come to me and the violence they see is so pervasive. You can see how they are so traumatized and re-traumatized. What about immigrants? I work with them as well. I see them all the time. When on the news, you know, people say, go back home, you don't belong here. How maybe that person is an American, first generation or second generation, they have to deal with the family members and being afraid of what could happen to them. I also work with clients who serve and protect us from the police department. I am grateful for these men and women who decide to protect us. Not all of them are killers. But something that I can say, we ought to change the system. Because here we are, we have these people who are protecting us, but they're afraid of Black and brown communities. Please come to us, come back in our communities. Look at us. You will realize that we just like your mom, your sister, your brother, your son. You have to come to see the humanity inside of us. So, dear seeker, I don't know what I can say, what I can tell you to make you feel better. But I truly want you to understand that an anger that is not purposeful end up hurting you. You want to change? Guess what? In November, go vote. Register to vote if you're not registered yet. March, continue to march. Don't shut up, continue to speak up. But remember, this anger, if it's not taken care of long term, it will destroy us as a community. Please take care of yourself in the process. It was very important for me to come in this space and just unpack. And to be in touch with my own anger, because guess what? This anger is healthy and is very needed. And before we finish this video, I wanted to give you an excerpt for May 31st that I read. It was so telling because it really touched me. And this is from my favorite book again, the Book of Awakening. The author gives an excerpt and a quote from Yanis Ritsos. And the excerpt or the quote say, "Now I have no choice but to see with your eyes. So I am not alone. So you are not alone." We all need safety need and validation need. Think about it. As a culture, we have not been validated. When we're angry, we're sad. Sometimes people say we have a victimhood mentality. No, we don't. We are survivors. But when you're not heard, guess what? This did not just happen now. We are talking about intergenerational trauma of a group of people who centuries after centuries are dealing with systemic violence and oppression. What do we expect? So please, once again, listen, understand, and validate. And for you, my beautiful neighbors and friends who understand the plight, not just of Black, brown people, but the plight of women, of children, the plight of immigrants. We need you to be there. We need you to listen to us. We need you to show up when we all need change. So I wanted to read one of my poems. Again, it came from a place of loss, from a place of anger, but also from a place of understanding death and how challenging it is. If you can allow me, I'm going to read my poem. And the name or the title is The Passage of Death. Last night, we all gathered together for a vigil. On our knees, we pleaded for safety, for a chance to live, for divine intervention. But our destinies had already unfolded. Unbeknownst to us, this was the beginning of the end. The old, the sick, The hungry, the weak, the wounded, and the child were at the mercy of the Good Samaritans. The young and the healthy were ready to fight to stay alive. The dead took over the street. Tapestries of vibrant red were reminders of what was once a life, a dream, and hope. The appointment with the Maker was sudden, abrupt, and traumatic. Our destinies were already sealed together. The loud noises of round of machine guns took our breath away. The sound of bullets on the concrete were paralyzing. The screams of violated women and girls felt like a nightmare. The smell of bodies whose souls had already escaped was intoxicating. The black and brown bodies of my sisters and brothers were defiled. The king and queen were reduced to nothing. Masses crying and screaming together, waiting for a miracle, hoping to reach the destinations, leaving pieces of the souls along the way, unable to bury the loved one. They continue to press on through the unknown. While on the other side of the world, many do not care about us. In the comfortable homes, they watch our nameless faces. To them, we are just masses of unfortunate people. They do not know us. They do not know our stories. They do not see our humanity. What they are forgetting is that tomorrow, the passage of death will be upon them. Just like what happened to us, the cycle will continue. They will not be able to bury the dead. Our time are numbered. It is time to fulfill our destinies. It is time to go back home. This may be a very dark poem for some of you guys, but don't be scared of emotions that are called dark, the real emotions, just like we're talking about anger. So please take care of your anger so that you are not poisoned by it. Let's work together. Let's make change together so that we can heal individually, collectively, as a nation as well. So please take good care of yourself. Find someone to talk to. It could be a therapist, it could be a family member, it could be a priest, it could be someone that you respect. Do something so that you can just start to unpack. Remember, not just the anger, but the pain, the sadness, the grief, the disappointment, the frustration, the letdown. You're not alone. We see you, we hear you, and we are watching you. Don't give up the good fight, but take care of yourself in the process. Okay, dear seekers, we're going to take 3 deep breaths just to be centered, okay? I want you to put your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your belly, and we're just going to breathe, okay? Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Please take good care of yourself. Do not let anger take over. Let's make it very purposeful. Let's make changes in this country. we are being washed. Let's show to everyone else how we can take this anger and turn it to something that can give all of us life. So, to you today, I'm wishing you a happy healing. Okay? And I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye.